Hey friends! Okay, so this is a vlogging check-in. Okay, so it is Friday the 27th and I wanted to show you my week so far. So you can see Saturday I did quite a bit. I edited a YouTube video, read 150 pages, and got to 700 words. Sunday I got sick with a stomach flu. I took off work, but halfway through the day I started feeling better. So I got in 500 words, and then 500 on Tuesday, 500 on Wednesday. No words Thursday, but I sent a query. And then today I'm hoping to write 500 words and re-outline the rest of my story. So yeah, pretty good week so far as Camp Nano prep. I'm trying to fit that in today. Hey friends! Today is Friday, July 5th, and I wanted to give you a little update on how my writing's been going. Okay, so here is my week of June 29th to July 5th, Camp Nano week 1. Saturday, I celebrated my birthday. That wasn't my birthday, but it's when I celebrated it, and I went to a zoo. It was pretty fun, but no writing done. And then Sunday, I got up to 30,000, woohoo! Pretty good, decent writing day. And then Camp Nano began, and I had a decent word count there, 500. Tuesday, I eked by with 200 words, did not get a star, which counts for 500. And then Wednesday, I got no words. You can see my little frowny guy. That was unfortunate. I had a stressful mental day there, and I did a lot of reading. I was like, I can't write right now, but I can refill my creative well. So I worked on that. And then Thursday was the 4th of July, which in the US is Independence Day, so I had off from work, and I had a write-in with Ember Blake. You can see it on her channel, and we got a lot of words in. So I got about 1,000 to 1,300 words during the write-in, and then I finished up and got up to 1,500 words for the day. So that was exciting. And then Friday, so with that writing sprint, I caught up on my Camp NaNoWriMo goal. So hopefully I can keep it going today, get in another 600 words or so, just so that I can continue just to stay on track. So yeah, that's my week in writing. Here's the big chart. As you can see, I'm at 33,000. Tuesday and Wednesday, I was very frustrated because I kept trying to get in my word count for the day, and it just wasn't happening. And I was, falling behind on camp, and I even had a pretty small goal of 20,000 words for the month. So having that write-in really cheered me up, and I got where I needed to be. So hooray! Okay, that's the check-in for now. Hey friends! It is Friday, July 13th, and here is my chart for the week. So, yeah. And as a reminder, I'm doing Nano. I'm supposed to do 20,000 words this month, and so that approximates to 5,000 words a week. I've gotten 2,000 out of 5,000. This week, so I'm severely behind. I wanted to talk a little bit about my week and why I think that happened. Whew! This project has been a little bit of a struggle with outlining in particular. So I have considered myself a plantser. So I write outlines, but they're very sparse, and I usually can't figure out the ending before I start writing. The ending always kind of comes to me later as I'm writing. So, and a lot of things change in the end. The reason I don't even bother filling in my outline that much is because as I start writing, I get new ideas for my characters, I figure out the relationships more, and I eventually decide to change things. So my outline, like my first outline I write, usually doesn't end up being anything like my actual story by the end. What I usually do is I have outline 1, start writing, decide I need to change everything, I copy that outline and then make outline 2. It's just in case, like, oh, this was what I was originally thinking, and now here's what I've moved to for version 2, and I keep going like that as I write. I don't know, it's been an even more sparse outline than usual for this project. And I've talked about this before, but I'm really struggling with my main character's... She doesn't like to recall memories that are painful to her. And that makes it hard for me as a writer to write them. It's not really like, it's not painful for me to think about her memories, but I want to be able to convey them sensitively and with the emotional weight that my main character would put on it. And so I've been struggling with writing those scenes. I also am world building quite a bit more than I have with any other project. My first project was contemporary, so there were some things I had to do to explain this interesting school they went to, and then one of my main characters had been homeschooled for a while, and so I had to explain that and what she did on a day-to-day basis. She was rich and lived in a big glass house, so I had to explain how that worked. But that was all the world building, and it was still in a world that we would recognize. And then my second book, which I'm querying now, is post-apocalyptic, after a nuclear apocalypse, and it's again recognizable-ish. On my first page there's a mention of a Tom Clancy novel, so there are the remains of this world in that world, and it's a little different now, obviously. It's survival mode, but again, it wasn't a ton of world building. I have a unique bunker structure, and there's an interesting community they built. It's more like being, I don't know. I don't have to create a whole new world structure. And then with this book, I do have to make a new world structure. In that, it's very much about the spirit world and the physical world and how they interact. And it's starting to get into like dimensions, parallel dimensions, and like string theory shit. And like, I mean, I don't know if it's going to be that scientific. I haven't decided yet, and that's the big problem, is I don't quite know how to explain the spirit world and the physical world. So for example, Jeremy, my vampire, he's lost his spirit, his soul, and that's what makes him a vampire. But he consumes blood, and that helps overcome a little bit of that, so he kind of like borrows spirit from people by drinking it. Yeah, it's weird. But I'm trying to decide like what has changed about Jeremy, because he was a human before. How is he different now? And the only things I can really think of that are different would be like he doesn't dream is one thing. He doesn't have intuition. And then a big thing too is that he can't see ghosts. He can't interact with the spiritual world at all. But personality-wise, like, he still has a personality. And the big thing is he still has a moral compass. So it might be a different moral compass than he had before, but he still can decide what's right and wrong. He's not a psychopath. Like, he cares about people. He might care about them for different reasons now, but I'm still figuring out, like, what are those reasons, and how is human Jeremy different from vampire Jeremy? And so I have all these big world-building questions that I haven't figured out, and that is why I'm struggling to write, because if I write these scenes I'm not sure about, I worry it'll just get scrapped later. What's the point of writing them? And this pace now that I've fallen way behind. Before it was like 600 words a day. Now it's about, I don't know, I have to start writing 1,000 words a day to catch up. And that's a lot for me, it's stressful, and I can do it if I'm feeling good about that scene. But if I'm not, it's a struggle for me. And so I've had days where I've been staring at my computer screen trying to write, and then it's just like not coming. So that's been hard to deal with. Yeah, so this week I've only gotten 2,000 words in, but I haven't been like slacking. I haven't been playing Breath of the Wild as much as I want to. I've been querying a lot. I mean, I've been sending some emails and researching agents and things like that. So that's something that, you know, I don't have a star in my book for. And I've been trying to reconfigure my outline and figure out what's going on, because what's happened is I've reached my midpoint, and as far as my outline is concerned, I'm very close to Act 2 actually. And so the end is in sight. And I'm like, I'm at 36,000 words. This should not be this close to the end. And I don't have that backstory in there all the way. Like, I've added a few scenes backstory, but not enough. But I'm clearly still missing something. And I think in order to keep my word counts high, I've been trying to write scenes I'm excited about, but it might mean I've skipped some scenes from earlier. So that's why I am falling behind right now at Camp NaNo. I'm gonna probably post this with a few others I've had earlier and just call this like my mid-month check-in with Camp NaNo. I'm going to keep this 20,000 word goal because I think if I can get my outline figured out, I'll feel more excited and more motivated. But I think that outline is going to be the hardest thing, like figuring out what scenes I still need. So we'll see how that goes. I'm hoping to get all that done today or tomorrow, and then I can have the rest of the weekend to write. Again, if I have it figured out in my head, writing 1,000 words a day isn't so bad. If I don't, I struggle to get words on the page. What fun is a vlog video if there's not a little bit of struggle, right? Yeah, I hope this isn't too much of a downer. Let me know in the comments how Camp NaNo's been doing for you, or if you're not in Camp NaNo, just how your writing's been going. And if you struggled with similar things as me, with having to change your outline like every chapter because you keep changing your mind, please like, subscribe, comment, and hit the bell thing. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!